Can I pull one of the games out, or do you do that?
Yeah, so please help yourself.
So here's the thing. You gave me that Zelda game at $25.
Yeah.
It's selling for quite a bit more. Well, look who it is. You're back. I was hoping you'd come back. I was just out on a game hunt. Went to the swap meet again looking for everything that I could find, and wait till you see what's in this bag. Although, I did find myself in a bit of a predicament. An ethical conundrum, if you will. See, I was out game hunting and came upon a situation that I didn't really expect, although I don't want to get into the weeds of all of this. You're relaxing and having a good day, and you want to know more? I guess I really would like your feedback. It's something I've been thinking about the whole way home and wondering if I did the right thing or not. I'll tell you, but you got to tell me what you think too. Yeah, that would be good. I'll tell you what. I'm going to sit down and start telling you about the hunt. You grab a coffee and you sit down too, and welcome to Mort's Garage. Let's get into it. Had to pick a new location to game hunt. The old spot's gotten a little bit crowded. I haven't had great luck at the swap meet before in the past, but I have found stuff here before. I'm setting 3 goals to make it interesting today. Goal number 1, I want to find at least $200 in value. So if I spend $200, I want it to be worth at least $400. Goal number 2, let's find some cardboard of the retro variety. So I'm looking for boxed Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, etc. And always looking for a Kid Nicky in box if I can find it. And goal number 3 is if I can find any Dreamcast stuff. I just never seem to find it, but it would be great to find some this morning. Every time I go to the swap meet, it is like going on a treasure hunt, and I'm always excited about what I'm possibly going to find that I can either add to my collection or resell to put money towards something else that I want. First aisle, literally nothing. First aisle was pretty anemic. So was the second. Let's keep looking. Finally, something I'd love to grab. This is the Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch box for the special edition console. You might recall in a recent-ish game hunting episode, I found the Switch dock for 10 bucks at another swap meet, and my family is a big fan, all of us, of the game Animal Crossing. How much is this box?
20.
Just for the box?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, it's not in the best condition, and the sold listings online right now are between $10 and $15. So it would have been cool just to have as a display piece, but at the same time I have plenty of stuff displayed. Gotta pass. This Sonic pinball machine looks really interesting, but there's a design flaw in it where in the very center of it, anything that you hit doesn't go up the board, it literally cracks up against it, so it can't get to the ramps or anything without considerable effort. Just gotta keep looking, but it's nice to see something else out here. As a pinball fan, I would love to one day own a pinball machine, but I'll probably end up getting a digital pinball machine with maybe some preloaded tables into it, just because the maintenance and upkeep on these can be really time consuming and really expensive. How much is this?
Together.
All together?
Yeah.
How much is all this?
This is good.
Yeah.
$195.
$195. Every time I see Guitar Hero stuff, I get a little hyped. Then I realize I gotta store it somewhere. Then I put it back and I walk away. What about Donkey Kong 3? I was tempted by that Donkey Kong 3, but the label is destroyed. And at 20 bucks, and seeing them sold on eBay for about that same amount. This doesn't really hit any of the goals that I've set for my morning. Gotta keep looking. I'm gonna actually cross the street to this other island section. Maybe I should have gone there first. See if I got better luck. Stuff here is a little more garage sale-ish than the other spot, which is to say that it's random things that are from households that people are just charging $1 or $2 to get rid of. That's usually where you find the best stuff. Here's a comforting thought. That box is straight out of 2006. 2006 is 17 years ago. Here's another comforting thought. The Xbox 360 came out in 2005, which is 18 years ago, which officially makes it a retro console. It's a wonderful system to collect for. If you haven't played those games already, it's awesome, and they're cheap. Look, people complaining about retro game prices, I'm with you. I know that it's really expensive and it's just what the market is, but if you haven't gotten into the Xbox 360 library or the original Xbox library, there are some great games at great values all across the board. Games like the Halo series. Halo Reach is one of the most fun first-person shooters you can play. There's also the Batman games. These are games that are in that $3 to $5-ish range for really great third-person action-adventure experiences. Great stories, great characters. The mechanics of it was so dialed in that I think these are games that really do stand the test of time. In addition to that, the Xbox 360 library has a bunch of great racing games, a bunch of great strategy games, even some good RPGs. Maybe not the best RPGs of their generation, but still really good ones, like Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon. I mean, I know Blue Dragon's not one that people love, but there's at least one good you get the idea. There's a lot of good stuff on that console. If you're complaining about retro game prices, I understand, I'm with you, but don't pass up the Xbox and the Xbox 360. There's a lot of amazing gameplay experiences there, especially for action game fans. How much is this thing?
125.
125? I have never seen this box before. It's more than I want to spend, but it looks really cool. I've definitely seen more interesting stuff on this side of the swap meet than the other side, but still nothing, you know, hits those goals. Box games, Dreamcast, or the value sets. But I'm enjoying the exercise. That's nice. I could use it. 2 sections down, 1 section to go. Nothing found. I've definitely found more stuff on this side and even over there in the past, but not as much as I found on the place that I'm going to now. There is a reseller too that I'm gonna check out and see if he's got some good stuff. Onward and upward. I'm seeing a lot of games out here at this swap meet that I don't normally see when I go game hunting. Here's a pile of disc-only PS1 titles. Let's see if there's any gems. Nope. No. NBA Hoops. I've always loved these midway arcade sports titles like NBA Jam, NFL Blitz. These are really fun experiences to be had. The NBA Hoops game in particular is one I always had a passing interest in because it looks like it's the follow-up or sequel to NBA Showtime or just another NBA Jam variant, but I haven't actually played it. Let me know in the comments if it is a good game, if it's an NBA Jam clone, if it's one that you would play. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This side of the swap meet is showing a lot more games overall, and I'm starting to get really encouraged at what I see.
First find, $10.
I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan by any stretch. However, this port is supposedly great. He had it at $10 for the game. That would have been great for just the cartridge only, but it's not only got the case, it doesn't have an insert. I don't know why I thought it had an insert. I feel strange. He also had other Vita game cases.
Would you sell just the cases by themselves?
Maybe I carry the game.
Oh, okay.
Tried to buy the other cases just on their own, but he thinks the games might be somewhere. Anytime I see anything original Vita, especially cases, I always grab it. They're just so hard to find anymore.
If you see the Vita games, look for the inserts as well.
If the games had the original inserts, good luck finding those. They can be extremely hard to find. What's this? First thing of interest to me was this Wii Sports Resort big box. Now, unfortunately, there's a little bit of a tear on the front, as you can see.
Definitely get this at $40.
It also not only came with Wii Sports Resort, but the vendor let me know it also has the regular Wii Sports inside as well. He was asking $40 for all of it, didn't even want to haggle on it. I was like, great price, I'm doing it. The interesting thing about this attachment is that when it came out, it felt like playing the Wii that I thought I was going to play. It really changed the way that I enjoyed the games because of this. And if you're collecting retro at all and you're not looking out for these big box Wii titles like Fling Smash, Red Steel 2, Punch Out, they're getting increasingly hard to find and increasingly beat up and damaged. Be on the lookout. I think these are going to be really hard to find in the future as time goes on. But let's talk about the big boy.
You got any wiggle room on this at $130?
What's your best one lower?
Def Jam Fight for New York on the PS2.
I do 100, 140 for both.
Okay.
It is the greatest hits version, but it is complete and it is in great shape. This is one of those games that whenever you see it, you gotta grab it. Played it a little bit on the Xbox. It's a fun diversion as a game. I never got super into it, but I know some people absolutely adore this game.
Not a bad deal. I'd say total value there is, you know, a savings of $70.
Blades of Steel.
How much is this guy?
That was $10.
$10.
Yeah.
Well, just hit a goal of finding retro cardboard, and it's Blades of Steel. One of the very best NES games ever. This is a game that today still holds up beautifully. I just played multiplayer the other day with a friend, and it was one of the most tension-filled, fun, quick gameplay experiences. They just have the main mechanics of hockey dialed in so well, but also there's the introduction of fighting into a game. If you have a Nintendo Entertainment System, you must own this game. And I love this box. It's classic Konami. It not only has the game, it has the Konami insert, it has the Nintendo Power insert, and it's got the manual, though it is a little bit beat up.
Not the most perfect condition, but $10 for a boxed NES game, and a classic at that.
In good condition, it's worth maybe 40 or more. And I got about 30 minutes left to go to see if I can reach that $200 level. Let's stay on the hunt.
$1 for this case. He initially said, do you want it for free? And I was like, at least just take $1, man.
This is a game that on the 360 even today has quite a bit of value. It's a bit of a classic in terms of racing games.
I have the game, I just don't have the case. This is extremely helpful.
Definitely one you gotta have for your 360 collection. If you find it, be on the lookout.
This morning has really been about quality more than quantity. I'm noticing when I sell as a vendor, people are really interested in the high ticket items more than like the little stuff. So this actually kind of works, I think, to my advantage in this case. Well, I've walked through everything here at the swap meet. I'm gonna go to this Resellers booth and see if there's anything there that I might need for my collection or some things that I can add of value to my own booth when I sell. Let's go check this guy out.
I'm gonna just tell you what happened, and then I would love to know your thoughts on what would you do in this same situation. I'm looking at the Wii U titles, and I find Zelda, the Twilight Princess HD, for $25.
I'm looking at Twilight Princess HD.
All right. Yeah. Let me go that way. So good.
This game is complete with the insert. The case is in good condition. The artwork has a couple of mild blemishes. I would say value-wise, you're looking probably between $80 and $110 for this game, and he had it marked at $25. So, what do you do in that situation? I paid him the $25, but then as I'm looking around the booth, he hands me this basket full of DS games, and he goes, here.
These are $5 each?
Yeah, sir.
And he's like, I just added a bunch of games to it. See if there's anything that you're interested in. So I start to dig through the basket and immediately am thrilled with what I find. There is 2 copies of Fossil Fighters. This is a $15, $20-ish game. Trace Memory, Metroid Prime Hunters, and the Big Daddy, Rhythm Heaven. Cartridge only is between $30 and $40-ish. I didn't on the spot spend a lot of time looking through the DS games. I just knew that they were good values, but I knew for sure that the Zelda game was definitely a really underpriced game. So I'm kind of left a little bit torn, like, well, it's $25, but I don't feel great about this.
These are $5 each.
Yes, sir. $5 each.
Which is a killer deal. So here's the thing. You gave me that Zelda game at $25.
Yeah.
It's selling for quite a bit more. I want to give you extra money for it just to say thanks for the great deal.
Here's the question. Whose responsibility is it about pricing?
I believe that when you're a vendor, you have the responsibility to know your prices, and when you put it out there, that's what it is.
I don't feel it's my responsibility to go to every booth that I see at a swap meet or every garage sale and go, hey, you listed this for $5, but it's actually worth a lot more, because if they listed it at that price, they listed it at that price. What I have a problem with is when you go to someone and they list the price and you relentlessly haggle them down below their asking price and put pressure on the seller. In this situation, I felt that I would have been fine walking away with what I had there. I maybe could have even given him more for the DS games, but at some point, it might even be insulting to the vendor to be like, oh dude, actually, like, you're underpricing a lot of your stuff.
I have a little bit of everything. I started about 10 years ago. I started with like literally like 10 games. I'm not an expert on games, but you know, I just consider myself as an average person that wants to learn something and get into something.
In general, I try to live honorably with the way that I treat other people, and I know that sometimes, sure, I can be greedy. Getting a bargain is not in and of itself something that's greedy. Sometimes it's just being smart about what you're looking for. But at the same time, I avoid things like lying, or if someone says, what's this actually worth? I'll tell you. If I've been at the swap meet before where I buy something and someone goes, wait a minute, how much is that worth? And I'll tell them the actual value of what it's worth. I think ultimately with any business, whether it's reselling or selling your own products that you make from scratch, being honorable with how you do it is the more important thing. It's not that reselling, in my opinion, is in and of itself a bad thing. I think being honorable ultimately always pays off in the end.
I'm here every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, same spot, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Awesome.
And I do buy and trade.
All right, so go check out my man Marco.
What would you do if you're in a situation, if you went to a garage sale or a swap meet and someone put out something for $20, let's say a complete in box copy of Little Samson or Stadium Events, and they put it out on the table to sell, and would you buy it for 20 bucks because they listed it at that? Or would you go back and say, actually, this is worth a lot more? I think it's a compelling question that everyone has to have their own answer for.
And then at the end, he gave me this Game Boy game, Cat Trap, for 20 bucks. And in terms of value, that pushed me over my $200 goal.
And honestly, I wouldn't judge you. Whatever you think is right and appropriate and fair is up to you. And I won't tell you how to live your life. I'm just saying, for me, this is what came up for me inside of me as I encountered this situation.
What would you have done? Would you have taken it and run? Or would you have given him more money?
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but at all times, be honorable.
It was a killer morning. Found some amazing stuff. 2
out of my 3 goals have been met. I found cardboard, I cleared the $200, and I was just over my time limit by being there for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I still think that's pretty great.
I'm thrilled, and thank you for joining me.
You have yourself a wonderful rest of your week. Take care.